So the Son of God, they're sons of God. They tried to trip Jesus up because he said he was the Son of God. Now, if you are a brother of somebody, so if somebody asked me, who's your father? I would say, my father is William Tees. I'm the son of William. And anybody that has a brother, they're also the son of the same father. I mean, you might have different fathers, but the point is, everybody's a son of God. We're all sons, daughters of God. But which God? If you're the son of the same God, well, then there wouldn't be anything to get offended with if you're following the commandments. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love your God with all your heart. If you're following those two main commandments, then you, as a brother of somebody else, you're in the same family. Then obviously, well, your father is, well, who's your father? The father of truth or the father of lies? Isn't there just one or the other? Or is there the father of in between, truth mixed with lies? Either way, you're either telling the truth 100% or you're not, even if you're telling 99% of the truth. So it's either a yay or a nay. So the devil's child, when asked, who's your father, or who are you the son of? And he says, I'm the Son of God. And then the Son of the Truth says, I'm the Son of God. Aren't we brothers? Or are we half-brothers, step-brothers? There's two lights that were made. The sun, which is the greater light, to rule the day in the daytime. So when anything in the day is exposed, like it's out in the open. And then one to rule the night, which is the things that are hidden. But there are two great lights. And who made those lights? Well, God did. The God of heaven made them. The God of heaven made them, and the God of heaven in the spirit made the sun and the moon. His sun and the law of God, the moon being the law. And Satan made his son, the son of disobedience. And he may say that he's the greater light. It's just exhausting to try to interpret everything that you hear, knowing that it's not just one interpretation or even two, but about four, because 3 or 4 different things are being played out at the same time, and characters are usually trying to take the birthright of the person above them, or even if they're like the son, but trying to act as if they are the father. And that's, I mean, it's what the son of disobedience has done. You say you can do it better than your father, and then you go and then you go and spend your inheritance and you party, and then you come back because you see how it worked. The son that's disobedient towards the father and wants to just do things better, and then once you realize that it's not about doing things better than the next person or your father, it's just about being in line with the same reality of the spirit. Because so many people want to be somebody else. They just want to be somebody else that they're not. And when you are somebody else, then just be who you are. The whole acting, that's the thing that's just my own personal thoughts in the Dropbox today. But that's the main thing that's exhausting in my mind, is the amount of ways that things can go, and how this person could actually be that person, or these people could actually be those people. The ones who are saying that they're evil, well, they're good, but they're good in what they believe is good, and what they believe is evil is who they're calling evil. But they think you're evil for doing the same thing, just with a little different twist. So for the people that know exactly what their role is, then that's what they're doing. They're playing their role. Certain people die, like characters die, and then they become another. It's another level up. That's like the John the Baptist role. Christ said, if you are willing to accept it, then he is Elijah to come. You know, Elijah, he is now, at the moment, Elijah that has to still come in the future. So he didn't actually, Elijah, under this interpretation, there's going to be someone that plays this role out. And then there's going to be two people that play the same role out. Because there's always room for two. Because when the real actual spirit shows up, the second one moves aside, and then it becomes like when John the Baptist got beheaded. How that works out is he gets killed because, you know, he's in prison. This is prison right here. When you're from above and you come down here, they're considering this prison. We just think this is our planet and we're free, and well, we're not. So it's just a bigger prison. The walls are further out. Like, we can't really see the walls of supposed Antarctica. So this is our prison. And John, when he was in prison, and then once he got beheaded, then Elijah to come. That would be technically the halfway point for that 3.5 year period, like a 7-year tribulation period. So halfway between, John must decrease and Christ must increase. Whatever it is that was being taught by John in the beginning, he decided that it's time for him to hang it up. And then with that character, but leading the way, making the path straight. Yeah, obviously, whoever that is, you're not going to believe it is. You're not going to believe that that's who it is, or maybe it is now, but you still got 3.5 years to consider what that will be then. So he isn't really that now. But then if you're too late, you're left behind. One will be taken and one will be left. Two will be grinding in the field. One is going to be taken by the truth. The other one's going to be left behind because Christ came as a thief in the night. So they didn't know the hour or the day or anything. This is how Satan's house is divided. Because Satan, and again, Satan being one understanding is certain people only understand Satan to be the two twins, Jacob and Esau. But then there's also an actor playing one of their roles. But there could also be an actor playing one of the twin roles. Like there's two twins and they're actually playing a role. And that role would be the two top, the Enki and the Enlil. And then there's somebody else that is that person himself. In other words, Adam and Eve in one vessel, and then Adam and Eve, the twins, as two people. But there's really a third. And then the third has the Eve in him. But how the Eve that was in him could have been the way he was born, but he could have been born again, just in a different route. He wasn't inverted, but converted. That's what I'm talking about. There's, and it's true. Yeah, there's somebody playing out all these roles. Now, there could also be many different people playing out the same roles in our own group. There's a group of people that play the same role, and you can mistake them because they sound like Moses, and the other one sounds like Aaron, but that one sounds like Elijah, but that's Elijah to come. And then it's like there's God in heaven, and then there's the God of heaven. There's the God of the literal land from heaven that came down here. There's the God of the earth, the snakes, serpent race down here, twin system, and they rule the land. But the other God rules the heavens and the principality of the air and the lightning and everything we see up there. And so you can have the twins playing both of those out, or you can have the twins that are both of those, and they hired a deputy to play the other role, and then that person's playing the role very well, and that person has like Moses with him, and then the spirit comes along of Elijah and Moses, laying down the law and mocking the 450 false prophets. But there's also King Ahab and Jezebel in the same person, one individual. That one individual would also be playing Adam and Eve, would be playing Christ as well. And then there's twins that would be playing the same role, and then they're playing the Adam and the Eve as brother and sister, then playing as being twins. And then there's one way of Adam. Eve was taken from Adam's his side, a rib, which is a bone. Bone was taken out, and then Eve was created by a surgical device, surgically. And that would be one way of it happening. And then Adam would be another way of like playing the Jesus role, and then saying you need to get inverted and Christ living in you, or the other way, you need to be crucified like Christ as the tree of life. doing away with, crucifying, circumcised. But circumcised of the heart is really where the kingdom of heaven is. Will there be circumcisions happening with people sacrificing their tree of life and their spark? Yep. Because they thought that that's what they had to do in order to get to heaven. Maybe that is what they had to do to get to the literal heaven, because you can't get to the spiritual one by going in that direction if you think that's what you have to do. Can you get to heaven after you do that? Of course you can. You can get to heaven no matter where you are, what you did with your flesh, because your flesh is going to die. You're just a flesh bag that's going to die. Whatever you did to your flesh bag is what you did. It's what is in your spirit as you're living in this flesh bag. People want to judge you for what you do with your body. You want to change your sex? It's available to do it, and that's your free will option to do so, then that's what you're going to do. Who is anybody to tell you what to do with your flesh? Oh, it's the temple of God. Yeah, it is. God, Satan runs your flesh. Are you ever satisfied? Nope. Are you ever not thirsty? No. Are you ever not hungry? Of course not. Do you indulge in food? Why? Well, because it's good. Do you have to? No. I mean, yeah, you'll die if you don't eat. But when? Eventually. Not right away. Your flesh craves, lust, desires, wants, needs, have to, peer pressure, things of that nature. Your flesh is being ran by Satan. That's why you got to deny it. That's why when you fast or you cut down or you just eliminate the things in your life that are running you, that controls you, that takes away your peace from you. How do you get rid of that? How do you get rid of the fear, the anxiety, the worries, the doubts, the what ifs? Well, you just, you pluck them up like a weed. And then you have to pray just like this. If you want to get saved, if you want to get saved, just say this simple prayer. Say, Lord, I make you my Lord and Savior. I come into my life and give me all those riches you're talking about. And I pray in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. And He died on the cross and He rose again 3 days. And that's what I believe. And if you believe that shit, then oh my God, you saved like all hell. But it happened just like that. Spiritually, everything happened already. That's how it works. And then the literal manifestation happens, where people have to believe that as well.